Bear down, Bears fans. So I did not want to make this video, but I keep being asked about this player. I keep being told that the Bears can't let this player go by. So I am here to tell you why the Chicago Bears should not select Bijan Robinson 9th overall. And it starts right now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. And now I also want to start this off by saying I understand that Bijan Robinson is an amazing running back. I don't want y'all to take this as hate on who the player is or what the player's ability is. I understand that he is an amazing talent. I think he's going to be a stud at the NFL level. That is not why I'm here to make this video. This is not a slandering video for Bijan to say that he's not the player that people think he is. He absolutely is. He is a dog out here. But the thing that keeps being brought up is, should the Chicago Bears take him at 9? Now, y'all know, a lot of you that watch my channel and that watch me consistently know my stance on running backs. I'm not big on drafting running backs high in the slightest. I'm not big on paying running backs, right? And there's a couple of reasons for that. I've listed it on a couple of different videos, but basically, right, most teams that end up winning aren't investing a ton of capital and or cash flow into the running back position. You usually see those teams that win championships have guys on $1 to $2 million deals. They're usually not the best guys in the NFL draft, right? It's very rarely your top running backs that are taken 5th overall over the last 20 years. That are the ones that are getting you to the Super Bowl. I look at guys around the NFL and how the league has changed, right? Remember how high Ezekiel Elliott was taken. Remember Saquon Barkley, right? Those are two guys that really just have not been a part of winning situations in their cities. Were they talented players? I think Saquon, right, kind of transcends all of that. And he's probably the one that most fits this situation because Saquon, to me, right, is an amazing player. I can look at Saquon Barkley and say, yes, there's a reason that you would pay this guy this much money. There's a reason I could see why a team would want to invest all of this into this player, but I wouldn't personally do it because of the situation that's happened in New York. New York drafted the running back first, didn't have an offensive line ready, didn't have a quarterback ready, didn't have a defense ready, and guess what? He ended up getting hurt 1 year in. Right? Played his rookie year, amazing player, ends up tearing his ACL, goes through different injuries. All of that stuff, right, plays into a part. The running back position to me is the final piece, the garnish on top for the team. When you have the luxury to go all out and get a star-studded running back, sure, go after that guy. I would love to see the Bears get to that point, but I don't think the Chicago Bears are there right now. There are too many holes on this team that the Chicago Bears need to fix that a dynamic running back does not change, especially starting with the offensive line position, right? We basically got 2 offensive line positions open. Maybe Cody Whitehair plays that center position. Maybe we draft a right tackle, then we still have the question mark at center, and Bijan's not going to fall. That's the main thing to me. Bijan is going to go in the first round. But if the Bears were to take Bijan Robinson, then what are we going to say about the right side of the offensive line? What are we going to say about the center position heading into this season, which we still are going to have question marks on, right? Unless maybe we could find somebody in that 3rd or 4th round that we like. I don't believe that there's a ton of talent down there, but maybe there's some diamond in the rough down there that you're going after. You're probably leaning heavily on the fact that you signed Lucas Patrick last year, but he's been injured. We haven't seen much of him at all in a Bears uniform. The little bit we saw him play at center, he looked great for like 5 snaps. You know what I mean? So I just don't feel like the Chicago Bears are anywhere in any sort of scenario where Bijan Robinson is going to fix this team. Does it add to your offense? Does it add impact to your offense? 100% it does. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I think that you can find guys that add impact to your offense without taking him number 9 overall. And here's the thing. It's about taking the best player available at the right spot. And if you feel like you can find a player that will give you production later in the draft, then why would you take that player 9th overall? That's kind of how I feel when I look at this running back room, right? I don't feel like Bijan Robinson is the only running back coming out of this draft. I've evaluated quite a few of these running backs, and I feel like there's enough talent in this draft that, yeah, are they going to give you the same impact Bijan does? Probably not. But we're also not trying to turn around and hand the ball off to a running back 50 times a game anymore. That's not the NFL we're trying to live in. We want to get guys that are going to allow us to have some play action opportunity, which I do think D'Onta Foreman will be for the Chicago Bears team. Now, here's the thing. I do want to know how you guys feel, man. I know a lot of you guys are in on Bijan. If you agree with me, drop a yes in the comments, or what should we drop in the comments, man? If you agree with me, drop a don't draft him. If you don't agree with me, drop a draft him. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. I'll be down there talking with you as well. And here's the thing. Here's again, I want to reiterate. I think that he is a really, really good player. But I also think that Paris Johnson addresses a need. I also think that Kalijah Cansey could address a need that is higher than running back on this board. I also think that Jalen Carter, if he falls, addresses a bigger need than Bijan Robinson does right now. There are too many players that are impact players on this team that address more needs that Chicago Bears need at more important positions than the running back position right now. Guess what? At a minimum, you got 2 running backs on your roster, and Khalil Herbert and D'Onta Foreman right now, who you feel like if you put a good offensive line in front of them are going to be able to make plays. That's all you need them to do. In this system, right, you're rolling with Justin Fields as your focal point on the offensive end, who's also going to be able to use his legs and be a dynamic runner if he needs to. Hopefully not nearly as much as he did last season. But to me, right, if you're just looking for guys that are similar, that have that similar impact, that have similar size, that have similar ability, I'm looking further down in the draft at guys that, yeah, are they going to be as good as Bijan? No, that's why they're further down in the draft. But can they come into this NFL and make an impact day one, play one? I do think there are some of those players that are going to be in your 4th and 5th round. If you're the Bears, you shouldn't be looking at the running back position until maybe the 4th round. I would be leaning towards the 5th round. I went through, did some breakdowns, right, of 3 separate players: Bijan, Zach Evans, Kenny McIntosh, 3 different running backs in this draft. And the reason I went with these guys is because I wanted to get guys that have similar measurables, similar weight build, and you know they're going to come into the NFL with a little bit of size to them, right? Like you look at these guys, all three of them, right? Bijan Robinson 6 foot, Zach Evans 6 foot, Kenny McIntosh 6'1", 215 for Bijan as last listed. He didn't. I don't think he weighed in at the pro day. These are their pro day weights, by the way. These are their pro day weights. So I think Bijan didn't do the pro day. So this is just his draft combine weight. 215, 208 for Zach Evans, 216 for Kenny McIntosh. When you look at it 40 times, 446 for Bijan, 450 for Zach Evans, 466 for Kenny McIntosh. Definitely a difference in speed there. Bijan faster. Again, why he's going higher. He is the better player. But then you start to look at the things that are actually going to be an impact on the football field. Yards per carry, 6.1 for Bijan, 6.5 for Zach Evans, 5.5 for Kenny McIntosh. Definitely lower for McIntosh, but to me, I look at him, he's probably a 5th, maybe leaning towards a 6th round pick here, and you're getting 5.5 yards per carry out of this guy with same weight, 216, being able to attack here at 6'1". I like that. The rushing yards is where the biggest discrepancy comes in here, right? You look at the rushing yards, 1,500 for Bijan. He was an absolute dog in college. 936 for Zach Evans. This is just their senior year numbers, by the way. 829 for Kenny McIntosh. But when you look at the carries, it makes the biggest difference, especially to me for Kenny McIntosh and Zach Evans, because they had guys that were trying to throw the football more than they were trying to hand the football off. For Kenny McIntosh, he was a part of that passing game. I look at him Carries, Bijan, 258, 144 for Zach Evans, 150 for Kenny McIntosh. Over 100 more carries for him to get to the 1,500 yards. It's not a slight on any of these guys here, but what I'm saying is the whole point of all of this, right? And Kenny, like I brought out with him, right? He had 43 receptions, 504 yards receiving as well. He was also involved in the passing game. If you want a guy that's able to go more with the passing game, different things like that. The whole point of me bringing these guys up is similar size, similar build, definitely going to be not going to be a better player, but still able to make an impact. There's still value at the later parts of this draft at the running back position. And if your whole thing is, hey, you got to go out and get that running back, that dynamic runner, I need y'all to get into 2023. I really need y'all to get into 2023 with me, because this is not the way the NFL thinks. So you want to know what? The NFL teams that do think that way have not won. You saw an interesting one this season, right? Where San Francisco traded for Christian McCaffrey. Well, why did they trade for Christian McCaffrey? Well, because we've got everything else already. We're just going to trade for a running back that's going to be a dynamic runner on this team. We can go out and add that guy because we're not out here looking for anything else. We believe Trey Lance is our future, which is wild. But we believe Trey Lance is our future. So guess what? We're rolling into next season with the guy that we believe is our quarterback of the future. We've got an offensive line. We've got wide receiving weapons. We've got a defensive line, linebackers, cornerbacks, DB, all of that. We got all of that already. We don't need nothing else. We can go get a running back. Let's go get a running back. The Chicago Bears are not in that position yet. I hope we get there. I hope we could be talking about the Bears in that position. But where the Bears are right now, you need to be filling those holes that are on the other side of the ball on defense and on offense still. We're still talking about, do we have enough DB depth on this team? We're still talking about, hey, who the heck's playing 3 technique on this team? And you guys are talking about linebacker, or you guys are talking about running back right now? Am I tweaking right now? Am I really tripping on the running back position right now? And on top of that, there's value at the end of this draft. These guys are not just names that I pulled out of a hat, right? These guys are guys that are probably, 8th to 10th best running backs on the list. And when you start to look through them, right, like guys with size, now you're up into that 4th or 5th best running back on the list. Guess what? The 4th or 5th best running backs are usually the guys we're talking about at the end of every year, being some of the best rushers in the league. How many guys realistically that have been taken at the top of the draft are we still talking about being great? I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is what? 28? He's already done. Like Dallas gave up on him. They paid him a ton of money and gave up on him. Saquon Barkley, the Giants are all in on him because finally they started putting the rest of the team around him that makes what he does work well. They went out, they got a couple of offensive linemen. They got a quarterback that's at least a placeholder in there until they can get the guy they probably really want. You know what I mean? We know they're not rolling with Daniel Jones forever, right? Right? But you start to have those pieces in place. Yeah, let's go out and get a dynamic running back. But those teams haven't won. We're a 3-win team. Whether we feel good about where the Bears are heading or not, we are a 3-win team. There's too much for us to be looking at, for us to be talking about the running back position right now. And even, right, like I'll link the David Montgomery video in the description below where I break down kind of the Super Bowl leading rushers, right? The guys that led in rushing in the Super Bowl and how much they made. Nobody on that list, I believe, made over $2 million. It's about everything else. Running back is a necessity because you need to make play action work. And I'll tell you what, it's even less of a necessity now when quarterbacks have an ability to run like they do in the modern NFL. Now, please, can we put the Bijan Robinson talk to rest? Can we get, I would, listen, and here's the thing. If the Bears do take him, it'll be a shock to me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to be the happiest camper in the world because I think there's a bunch of other things you need. But guess what? You still went out and got a dynamic player. He's great. I think that he will be a really good player at this level. I really do. But in 4 years, are we really going to be talking about possibly paying Bijan Robinson a really big contract when we've seen how that works in the NFL? The running backs that make a ton of money, you rarely see that work out. You usually see teams try to move off of them by the end of that contract. Derrick Henry's still going strong. He's coming off a little bit of an injury. Saquon got the franchise tag, right? Ezekiel Elliott, I don't even think he's on a team right now. Is he signed yet? I don't even think Zeke is signed anywhere. That's what I mean when I'm talking about you don't go out and make big investments in that running back position unless you got everything. CMC, even as much as CMC got invested in the trade, right? It sounds great, looks great. He was amazing over there. CMC has basically missed half of his career to injury. He has been sidelined pretty much for half of his career. That might be an overestimation. I don't know. I gotta look up his actual games. But more times than not, right? We've talked about CMC being injured. I'm gonna look it up right now, just so that we all on the same page. I like why did Chris Webber go in? I type in Christian McCaffrey and I get Chris Webber. Hold on. Bear with me here. Ooh, do. Okay, so we got Christian McCaffrey here. I'm going to give you games played. Christian McCaffrey has played in 16 games his rookie year, started 10 of them, 16 games year 2, 16 games played, 16 games year 3, 16 games played, year 4, 3 games, year 5, 7 games, last year, 17 and 16. So I was a little high on the half of his career, right? But here's the thing, year 3 and 4, you're talking about him being moved in year 4. Year 3 and 4 of his career, he was hurt. He was not able to help your team. He was not able to, right? And you moved on and you found Deontay Foreman and you found other running backs that are going to be able to give you really, really good production. That's how running back positions usually go. So can we please stop with the Bijan Robinson over love? I love what this kid can bring to a team, but the Bears are not there yet. I do want to know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Do you think the Bears should draft Bijan? I'm telling you exactly right now, they should not. There's too much else they need, man. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. To continue watching our Chicago Bears content, click the links on the screen. Check the links in the description below. Keep showing love to the channel, man. Listen, these are the videos I love because I know there's going to be a difference of opinion, and I love that debate. So, hey, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Peace.